Okay, this is going to be quite a quick raw video. I have backed Kickstarter projects on many occasions from this guy, and this has just surfaced and arrived. In fact, it arrived yesterday, but I had no time yesterday. I've just got back from my day job, and I'm going to try and build this as quickly as I can. So this is a Raspberry project. It doesn't actually comprise of a Raspberry Pi on this occasion, but it's a nightlight, and it appealed to me because it had a mini Arduino clone in it. So what do I get in this kit? Well, you've already seen there's my components bag, there's a PIR sensor. Let's get that out. I've got nothing ready to hand for this, so it's going to be noisy and it's going to be raw. So that is the PIR kit. Here is an Arduino. All of this is relatively standard. Alright, and the various bits and bobs for that, which we're familiar with. A connection lead to do the Arduino programming. I'm assuming this isn't already programmed, as it's sealed. It won't be. This is the thing that Alex has designed. It did look absolutely beautiful, this board, and that was a part of it. And of course I did the Kickstarter and paid for the enclosure for it, which completely hides the beauty of the board. But anyway, we'll fail on the packaging, but what does that matter? It would go in the bin anyway. Alright, so look at this board, real beauty. What I liked about it when I was exploring it, the documents, was things like the little Aladdin's lamp, the little icons on the board, which were just nice. Stars, lights, moons, a cat even, a lady, a man. I like this. I just like the way that he'd done that. Motion activated programmable RGB nocturnal fun illumination for comfort and convenience. Super happy fun joy. Okay. Then there is a laser cut case. Acrylic case, which looks quite nice. I will no doubt come back to that later. Let's put it somewhere where I don't drop solder on it. And really it looks like there's not a lot that I have to do with this. It's going to be soldering the headers on. The headers there. Should be relatively easy. There's the lights built onto the board, which is good because it wouldn't be fun soldering those LEDs on. Okay, so I just spotted an error in my doing this quickly, that I don't have the instructions with me. So anyway, what do I get? I get some case hardware. What I assume are the header, a buzzer, remove after washing. I'll go and have a shower and remove that in a little while. An LDR, light dependent resistor, an LED, I assume that is the power LED. 3 resistors, 2 the same, 1 not. The most difficult bit, I think, by the looks of it, is going to be soldering these headers on. Alright, and some other couple of bits and bobs. I'm not sure whether that dot is... I think that's probably part of the case. Alright, so let's look at this quickly. Always best to start with the low components. Now, the resistor there's two resistors there, two pull down resistors, well, LED resistor, a PIR resistor, and R2, R1, R3. Okay, buzzer, that's easy. The PIR device, that's interesting. Alright, yes, so the PIR, that must go in there, and then the PIR can sit connected into it. Yeah, alright, that makes sense. I will have to go and get the instructions to work out which resistor is where, because although this is very straightforward by the looks of it, I'm just going to have to get that information. Okay, so just before I start, where the instructions, very simply, resistors R1 and R2 are the same, they're 10k, so that's those two, and then R3 is the one on its own. So that's the most complex part of this, which I couldn't derive from the board. So here goes. Okay, that was relatively straightforward, although as my eyes get worse, it's harder and harder for me to solder these things together, but I think I've got them all okay. There's a lot of very close links to solder there. I've mucked up some of the closeness of the, well, there's a secondary row of pins, must be for a smaller chip, and I have got solder on those, but oh well. Right. So the best thing to try now is for me to plug it in and see what happens. Of course, there's no sketch on the Arduino yet, so that won't, it's not gonna, I'm not expecting much from it. Apparently the buzzer goes buzz when it starts, but that also might be to do with the Arduino code. But let's just see. I suspect if I plug this in, all that's going to happen is the onboard LED on the Arduino is going to flash. I don't even know whether there's any juice in this, but let's see whether it does anything. Aha! Tranquility base. Alright, I have power, and I have what's probably a blink sketch running on it. Alright, so far is so good. I will put the sketch on this, and I won't show you how to do that, how I do that, because, well, that's going to be easy. So I'll put the sketch on and then just come and plug it all in and see what happens here. Okay, that's the sketch put on it, so let's plug it in again and see whether anything different happens. Oh. All right, yes, that beep that we were warned about when it turns on. Okay, so that's good. That means the sketch has downloaded to it properly and it's controlling stuff. Now, I think PIRs take a while to warm up, so I don't know whether there's a wait command in it. I could look at the code and find out possibly. And also, it is a night light, so me sitting here with lights raining down on that little resistor aren't going to help much. So I think let's pretend it's gone dark, and I'll just stick the blob of blue tack over, and I assume at some point things will start happening. I don't even know what the program whoa, okay. So that sensed my movement. I'm going to keep still. It's very white light. Oh, look at that, and it dimmed down beautifully. All right, so that's white light in it, and now, oh, off it goes again. I don't think I moved, well, unless it picked up my mouth moving. It could do. Of course, it might be picking up something from the camera above. The camera might be sending out some infrared. I don't know. But definitely, there it goes to fade. Oh, and on straight away again. Okay, so it looks like the soldering's worked on the board. Still looks quite a beautiful board. Let's give it some light back and see whether now that triggering just goes off just before I do something else. I noticed from the instructions as well, he was saying if these lights here annoy you, just put a blob of blue tack over the board. So obviously blue tack, it is the future. All right, and obviously the PIR stuff stopped working now, so it works. So now I need to I'll get this video posted. I'm not going to do anything else on this, but I'll maybe look at the instructions and see what we can do to change the colours of the lights or do other things. But once again, I'm a serial Kickstarter from Alex. Whenever he releases something, I have to buy it. I always find them quite fascinating. This is one of the most beautiful boards he's done yet, I think. So really happy with that. I like the way that we didn't have to solder the LEDs on. So thanks for doing this, Alex. And if you do watch this, I don't know whether you do, but thanks for designing this. We look forward to the next Kickstarter that you run.